Extreme Force, Hollywood Stunts, baby. I'm the owner of Extreme Force Hollywood Stunts, and my team back here, we got a team of between 20 and 30 guys from San Antonio, Texas, Austin, Texas, all the way to Phoenix and Albuquerque, New Mexico. We work on movie sets, feature films, commercials, music videos, short films. It doesn't matter. Anything that's to do with the film industry, for stunts, action, or special effects, that's what we do. Hey, right now we're at Volunteer Speedway in Bulls Gap, Tennessee. If you look behind me, they're breaking up this RV. We're gonna set up some pyrotechnics in this RV so we can make a big bang tomorrow and run a car right through it at like 60 miles an hour. It's gonna be awesome. This is a live action show with John Schneider, Bo Duke from Dukes of Hazzards. He invites us out here. We perform for him, perform for the crowd, give them a little excitement before the race.
That's badass, man.
Yeah, what's funny is like that car, the first one I was going pretty fast. The first car that went through the Winnebago, and I flew. I went flying, but it was good. It was a good one. The second one at the end, the car was a piece of junk. I mean, well, they're all junk cars basically, but I couldn't get that car to speed up. We did, and then we didn't. It worked, and it didn't work. So when we did that jump, half the pyro didn't even go off because what happens is the fire department has to go through and inspect certain things, and if they kick a wire, or someone steps in a wire wrong, and it's all, of course, rigged. It's hard for us to go back in there and do it at the last second, so the pyro on the second one didn't even get to go as good as the first one.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like a very meticulous job. One little thing goes wrong or is out of sync, man. It could blow the whole thing. We are talking toy maker, producer. He is also Jack Kraken's arch nemesis in a toy maker, Mark Anthony Baca. And as you see, you're working, you got this stunt thing going on, which we're going to talk about because that actually happens to be one of the perks somebody can work with you. But you got a nice piece of hardware sitting down there next to you.
Oh yeah, she's beautiful.
Look at that. My goodness. Is Outstanding Short Feature Heroes, NFL Network.
Yep. And the crazy thing is, like, if you want to hear the story on this, I'll give it a quick.
Absolutely.
So when I got, usually when I work on films, a lot of people promise you a lot of stuff. I usually just get a stunt coordinator credit. I never get above the line like producer. So when they were doing this one in particular, the director, another producer, that came to me and we need this, I got it. We need that, I can get it. We need this, I can make it. So they're like, wow, you can do everything. I'm like, just what do you need for the segments, for a segment television? And I said, look, I'll take care of everything. So they go, well, if you take care of everything, we give you a producer credit. I'm like, okay, cool. I wasn't really worried about it. I was like, so I did my job. They paid me. I stayed under budget. And when the directors came from New York to do this, I helped them with shot angles and whatnot, what have you, because I do action. So we created this whole scene from an NFL player who saved someone's life. in real life and reenacted that whole thing, the car crash, flipping, rolling, explosions, everything. And I when they went to the Emmy Awards, they sent me a message. We won. I'm like, hey, yay. I thought nothing of it. I'm like, I was happy. Hey, congratulations, I told them. Well, a few months later, they're like, hey, where you at? I'm like, at my ranch. I got a stunt ranch. And okay, we'll be right there. Okay, we got something for you. So I thought maybe it was like a gift card, a thank you, a plaque, something. Like I get that a lot from film directors and producers. I could use another Chili's gift card. And,
yeah, who can't? Right?
So when they got there, they had this box that's back there. I won't go get it, but it's a big box this Emmy fit into. I looked at the box and it looked just like a Bluetooth speaker. And I've gotten those before. So I'm like, oh, cool. I can always use one because, I'm travel a lot. I'm outside. I'm like, yeah, thank you. So I didn't think nothing of it. They're like, well, open it. Oh, open it. So it wasn't a sleeve. So it looked like it was just a box, like a speaker box. So I took the sleeve out off it and I opened it and I saw this pretty beautiful thing in there. And I thought they were just showing me their Emmy. Like, hey, we won. Hey,
still didn't click in. It's for you, right?
It didn't even click that it was for me at all. I was like, oh, nice. Oh, cool. Can I take a picture with it? You can do whatever you want with it. It's yours. I'm like, excuse me? So I said, pull it out of the box. And I took the plastic off and it had my name on it. And I didn't realize how in depth the Emmy is. Like they give you rules. I got it back there, but they got this little packet that's like a rule book. And if I die, this has to go to, I have to will it to somebody. If you cannot pawn it, and if you don't, if you cannot pass it on to somebody, you have to turn it back into the Emmys. Yeah. So it's like a pretty, it's heavy. I mean, this sucker is like, I've won lots of awards for acting, stunts, whatever, throughout the years, but I've never won an Emmy. To me, the top ones are like what, Emmy, Oscars,
yeah,
stuff like that.
Grammy.
I'm like, to get an Emmy, it's up there. And
absolutely,
I never had the bug. To try and win one because I was always a stunt guy or actor. But now that I'm producing, I'm like, okay, now I got the itch. Now I want to get more.
Yeah, no, that's great. Lydia asked, did you think it was made of chocolate? It was just, gold foil there.
Dude, it's amazing. Like I can't even tell you. Like I always thought this was out of reach for me.
Yeah.
I was a special ed kid. I graduated when I was 21 years old. So for me to win something like this and like my mom, see that and to be part of it, like, hey, I won this one. And she's like, well, she's so happy for me. It's like it's a big deal for me. It may not be for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
This is huge for me.
Yeah, no, and it should be. That's very inspiring to say the least. Lydia also mentioned the Golden Globe.
Oh yeah,
is another one, and all those that we mentioned, man, they're like top shelf in the industry, man.
Yep.
Whether it's acting, whether it's probabing, that's top shelf right there.
Yeah.
So
it's like 10 pounds, dude. It's like, and I think it's worth. It's probably spent a couple $1,000 on this. I saw pricing. They didn't give you like a price thing on it, but I Googled it. I looked it up, and it's like they're not cheap.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, Lydia says it's huge, and you should be proud. Well, absolutely. Thanks, it's a sounds like you traveled a long road, and to have something like this just makes it all seem worthwhile.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And you're coming in to a toy maker with an Emmy, which is exciting because the quality of work that you do, if anybody has seen Six Wheels from Hell, I recommend you do. You can see the trailer over there on the Indiegogo page. That went live on Friday, and off to not too bad of a start. But of course, just like all these fundraisers, we need all the support we can get. Us 9 to 5 filmmakers and actors. You know, not all of us has a fat wallet, but hey, and we know it's tough out there. It is. It's tough for everyone. So we understand finances may not be in your favor to contribute that way. The next best thing is sharing it far and wide. It may land in the eyesight of somebody who can contribute. Because I'm gonna tell you what, the story of a toy maker. It is, for one, yes, the premise of turning uh, your goons into human marionettes has a very horror um, sound to it.
Right.
There's so much more. Reading the script, there's comedy involved. Of course, there's going to be stunts. There's going to be some firepower. Um, it's an all encompass. It's a little something for everybody. What's your favorite part of that, or is it all just kind of meshed together for you?
Well, for me, honestly, like I've been doing stunts for a long time, for like 30 years, and doing action is always, I won't say easy for me, but I understand it. I understand selling it and delivering the fight choreography, to the pyrotechnic safety, all that. The hardest part for me is, always it's the acting part, which once I get going, I'm good. It's just
Hmm.
getting into that character, that mindset, that character. So I play Damien, which is your nemesis, and so to me, that's the exciting, hard, fun part for me is just getting into that character, that mindset to pull off what the director wants. When I did Six Wheels from Hell, I had to create a hillbilly accent,
I
and
loved it, man. I love Mother Trucker, brother.
yeah, it was good. So I'm gonna try and do the same with this one. I'm trying to get into that character, that the director Evan Allen, which has become a good friend of mine. He has an amazing vision. He's a great
Yep.
writer. He's the one that pulled out the Mother Trucker. Like he guided me, and it was actually a really really fun project, and it was our first project together, honestly. But we've become good friends since then, and I'm like, hey, let's do Toy Maker. And when I met you, I'm like, man, that guy looks just like our Toy Maker, and he's like, yeah, I know. I'm like, so when we got off the phone, our last one, our last interview with you, we talked about you a long time before we even contacted you. And I'm like, man, because we're trying to find someone like Eric Roberts or somebody, to play that. But we don't. Everybody kept saying, not just Evan and me, but other people that we've showed your picture to. They're like, man, that guy is born to be that part. I'm like, yeah, I think you're right. So
That's awesome. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Um, I Lydia, who's in the chat, said, sometimes the actor chooses the role, and sometimes the role chooses the actor. And I've had that. The roles have chose me, nor usually due to the beard, the hair, or a combination of both. But I'll take it. I'm super super excited. This would be my first lead role, and I love the character of Jack. Um, it's a great story. His little sidekick, Madison. Uh, what it? Trying to figure out how to say this.
what?
Before I forget, which I'll probably forget anyway. Um, let's just get into your. Let's talk about your character a little bit, Damien Harth, I believe it is.
Yeah,
Um,
so I'm a
uh,
real
you-
estate guru.
yeah,
I want to take over the town, basically.
and that's some BS if you ask me. Even though a lot of people may roll over, Jack Kraken's not really one to take and get pushed around. An older guy thinking these young bucks can push him around.
Yep, and think
Um,
money's gonna over, my money and power, to get goons and bodyguards and manipulate the law, which is not
yeah,
far fetched. I mean, come on. I mean, it's like,
very true.
yeah. So for me to be able to do that, but someone like you that plays, the toy maker is like, I'm not having it. I'm not getting pushed out, you know.
Yeah.
And I come at you with everything. I bring people at you. You know, that just bring the law at you. I mean, come on.
You're
It's like
throwing everything but the kitchen sink at cracking toys, and I ain't cracking.
right. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So my character's a narcissist. I have no heart. Or just it's all about me, power, money.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to play Deadshot, which is the bounty hunter guy, but I got a buddy that's gonna play that, and he's an awesome stunt guy, and I think he'd be perfect because he's like jacked. I mean, this guy's shredded. He does stunts for like Deadpool, and he works with
Mm.
all the Nicolas Cage. He does all the big films.
Oh, nice.
So there's a friend of mine. I thought he would be good for that. I kind of want to do more dialogue and kind of show my acting chops, and so that's why I wanted to take on Damien, and Evan was cool with it. So yeah, I think that's gonna be super fun for me, and I'm hoping that Evan's gonna tweak it just a little bit. So when he comes to the mansion, me and him get into it because I would love to like light him on fire, like really light him on fire, like really light him on fire, and like whip his butt a little bit. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, Evan was talking about that. About lighting people on fire, and that's not a perk, I don't believe. Yeah, or is it? I don't know if that was a early segue, but
We can,
there is a perk, because I want to zero in on this, Beans. It is you, the stunt. I get your stunt coordinator. Would that be your official title for a toy
yes,
maker?
yeah, stunt coordinator, producer. So I can do it. It just depends on the person and what kind of burn we're gonna do.
Sure.
So I can train them before, and they can come to me, and I would train them, and depending on how well they do, what kind of burn they would actually do. But yeah, we can light the arm on fire, their legs or something like that, and I can prep them, train them, and then I can put them in the movie for that. And that's not out of the question. So
Now, what kind of what's the process? What kind of training can someone look forward to, and is the training tailored to a particular stunt? Unless they request that, I want Mark to set me on fire.
well, so it's basically all about safety, um, communication. Because when you're on fire, you can't just be like. A lot of times you're acting, so when you get put on fire, you're like you're screaming. Well, is he really screaming or is he acting? So we have hand signals that we do. If I go down to my knees and raise my hand, put me out. I'm in trouble. So or go to my knees and raise my hands. But and so a lot of times we're acting like when you're like. I'll give you an example. I was filming this film with another director named Jeremy Howa, and the script required me and this guy to get into it. And we had a couple of cuss words, and I changed me and the guy. We changed the words a little bit, so I made it more racial. And it wasn't part of the dialogue, but he was cool with it. I was cool with it. Cool. We didn't tell nobody. We just did it, and I pushed him, and I pushed him. He pushed me back. I threw him against the wall, and the glass broke, and they thought we were really gonna fight, but that's what it called for in the scene. So everybody kind of like freaked out, and they just like watched like with like this, like there's like that, and then when we kept going, then we looked at them like, "Aren't you gonna say like, I mean, cut?" you know?
Yeah, right.
And they're like, "Oh, cut, cut, cut," and they thought we were serious. I mean, we freaked out everybody, and they thought it was real. So a lot of times when you're doing stunts, you gotta have like a protocol basically.
Mm.
There's certain things that you can't stop. Like if I'm gonna jump off a building, I can't jump halfway and be like, time out,
Yeah, right. You're committed once you
Yeah,
step off that ledge.
exactly. Once you got to commit. And the problem is a lot of people, it's like doing a backflip. If you don't commit, if you stop halfway through or right before you leave the ground, you're gonna fall on your head because you doubted yourself. You got to commit 100% to complete it so you don't get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And then stunts, that's the problem. So when people who are new to stunts, if they don't commit, that's how they get hurt. So doing a fire burn, a small fire burn, arm legs, I'm cool with that. I can work with them. It doesn't take a lot. I can train them and get them prepared for something. That could be a perk. I'm not sure if it's on that list, but I'm cool with that. But yeah, there's gonna be a ton of stunts. We're going to be doing squib work, car crashes, precision driving. We're doing a lot of really cool stuff. It's going to be a big action packed uh, uh, film for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and that that's the great part. Yeah, you're gonna have some blood and gore. You're gonna have, a little bit of comedy thrown in there. And then you got the action and the stunts, and there's a little bit of something for everyone. And when I say everyone, there is a perk where you can get your dog in the film.
Yeah,
You and your kids can be in the film and come join me at Kraken Toys. Um, yeah, so a lot of great perks going on over there. If you're just joining us, Indiegogo is live. We got a handful of videos for you to watch, little promo trailers, so you can get a good idea of what's going on over there. And I tell you what, if you need, because I know a lot of people, they want to take and contribute to these projects, but even with money being tight, but they're, I think, a little more skeptical. They want to make sure this is a good product. They're gonna get delivered their perks, because unfortunately that's been an issue in the past.
really.
And I can tell you what, without a shadow of a doubt, if you go and watch Six Wheels from Hell, you're going to see what kind of production value that, and maybe even bigger than Six Wheels. I don't know from that standpoint, but you'll get a good idea of what you're in for.
Yeah, I guarantee it's gonna be a lot better. I mean, the Six Wheels meal was great. Don't get me wrong. Six
It
Wheels
is.
that was awesome. It was fun. I guarantee this one's gonna be like a whole new level. It's gonna be awesome. I mean, we're super excited. I mean, it's over here in Texas where we're gonna film most of it. I'm the chamber president for the county, so I'm also really deep in with the film commissioner in this area.
Mhm.
So I mean, a lot of places we're gonna get. I mean, it's not a problem for permitting. We shooting at my ranch for some of this. I mean, so there's a lot that I'm bringing to the table just with my company and the property we have, but location wise in the town, they embrace us. So it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, that's great. You would think that, smaller towns would embrace that. Sure, that brings some money in for that town. You got to feed these people. So, they're relying on the town. It's great that you can take and utilize, your community in, a film. That's awesome. So most of the locations are, you said you got some locations, of course, there, your ranch. Have you got how is the location scouting going?
Oh, it's good. I mean, we just gotta decide which area we're gonna shoot the toy maker building at, but we have several options, and I mean, any one of them are good. So we're once we get hopefully this Indiegogo knock it out. 15,000 is not a lot of money, but it's enough to
Mm.
help put a dent in what we need. Um, we hit the 15,000 mark. We definitely can move forward. We'll move forward instead of date. We'll go from development into pre-production. So,
That's awesome.
well, I like to shoot it this year though, so I'm ready. So if we can hit that $15,000 mark before summer, we'll set up start shooting dates like in October. So.
That's just badass, man. I cannot wait to get on set with this one. And if you want to be on set, You can always go over there to get some perks, where a donation, a contribution, will get you on screen. There's some, I believe, oh, who was it? I think there's an officer, a female officer. There's a handful of ones that of roles that you can purchase through the Indiegogo. I hear Jack Kraken's sidekick. That one's still up in the air. Good old Madison Moon.
Yeah.
She's an important character.
Yeah, she has to have good acting chops for sure. We were looking at a B-lister to try and pull in for that one because she's definitely one of the leads. So she needs to have a really good acting chops, have strong background. So I know this would be your first lead role, but because of your look, we thought that would be perfect. And then Evan, the director, I feel like I feel positive that he can pull out of you what he wants. And
Mm-hmm.
the cool thing about it is we're doing the movie, so it's like, hey, if we need to take a few extra takes, we will.
Sure.
But it happens. Trust me. When I first started acting, I didn't nail it on the first try either. But once you start understanding, get enough underneath your belt, you start getting to that flow. You understand how to dialogue, how to deliver all that, so it comes out, pretty good. So we're doing 1 or 2 or 3 takes, which is great.
Yeah.
When we did 6 Flows from Hell, sometimes we did 4 or 5 or 6 on me because I forgot my lines, and it was like, yeah. So it was, feed me lines, please. I can't remember this next line, and
yeah, right.
So, but I was doing a lot. So I was like set dressing, stunt coordinating, acting. I was doing
many hats. You were wearing many hats.
So being the lead was really tough. But this one, I have a big team over here. I got at least 20 guys that work with me, and they'll be helping with this film. So it's gonna just flow. It's gonna flow. It's gonna be good. So Madison, we just we're looking for the right look, not just the look, but also someone that can hold that character high because she's got to definitely be able to deliver those lines.
Yeah, she's a very integral part of this movie. Maybe a little backstory. The toy maker Jack Kraken has had this toy shop for decades,
Right.
30 years, maybe longer. Loved by all the kids in the community. Handmade toys. He's kind of like the neighborhood Santa Claus,
right?
All year round. He's nice, soft-spoken, gentle, grandfatherly type, of course, unless he's pushed too far. But one of these little kids that would come into the toy store was one little Madison Moon. And Jack and Madison sparked up a little conversation. She got a little doll, and years later she revisits and they kind of connect again. And from there they kind of become business partners. She kind of gets a job. I think he told her when she was younger, I'll give you a job. You grow up and you can make toys with me.
Right.
And she took him up on that offer and came back, and that's when you come into it. And I guess you weren't expecting young Madison Moon there, but that's who Madison is. And yes, reading the script, and it's also going to be important because that chemistry is going to need to be there with me and whoever does play Madison. That's going to be really important because she's my sidekick. And she's there helping me the whole way. So having that real good chemistry, I feel, is going to come off very genuine and really work well. How many days you think this is going to take to film? You got a bunch of guys behind you. Everybody's ready to just knock it out. What's your goal for this?
Less than 2 weeks. I mean, we can probably shoot it in like 9, 10 days, but
9, 10 days, yeah.
I figure like 2 weeks max. I think we can do it because there's a lot of locations. I mean, a lot of it's set in a toy maker shop, right? I mean, there is a few locations outside, but I mean, once we get the toy maker shop set up, I think we'll have the location to where we can just all we got to do is move cameras around, lighting. I mean, it
Hmm.
should be pretty good, as long as we're not having to. We don't have a lot of crazy locations in this film. There's a few outside of ones like the car crash and what have you, but
Right.
still, majority of it's done at the toy maker shop. So,
Yeah, a lot of the shots are there. Who's outside of Damien?
mhm.
Uh, and I also want to say outside of Jack, who's your favorite character?
um, so I guess the character that I was gonna play, which is Deadshot, or yeah, my buddy's gonna play that. I think that was pretty cool because he comes in as a last resort because his goons aren't getting the job done, so he comes in to intimidate, basically hurt Jack, and at all costs, and he's like outsmarted, and this guy, this Madison and Toy Maker. I mean, an old man and a young girl, like really, what are they gonna do to this guy? This guy is a
Yeah.
badass, and it's like, so I really like that character a lot because kind of like the Boba Fett, it comes in, it's supposed to kind of clean house, but he doesn't
He
because
does. Yeah.
he just underestimates, and it's like, and so I really like the character of that character a lot. There's a lot of great characters, even the sheriff. He's kind of a crooked cop, and he's taking money, scheming, getting paid off. You know what I mean? To turn a blind eye and kind of like use the law against everybody and
Hmm.
ruining lives, but making his better. It's
Right.
so
Yeah,
there's
it's almost like a little good old boy network.
yeah, yeah, and,
Yeah.
we've seen that kind of stuff in real life happen, in history, and so it kind of it's great that it takes place in the 80s, you know, so we get to go back into the 80s and have this whole um, like storytelling. It's pretty cool. I like it.
I did not realize that this was going to be an 80s uh type film. It's like, as you call it, a period piece, if you will. I did not know that.
We kind of have
That's
to because
awesome.
marionettes. I mean, Jack wouldn't be in business right now. I mean,
Hmm.
because who's going to buy a marionette and wooden cars and wooden toys like Pinocchio? Like, who's going to buy that?
True, yeah.
I mean,
You don't have wooden iPads.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so Apple and all these electronics, it's
Yeah.
taken away from all that. So it kind of has to happen in the 80s
Yeah,
because
no, that makes sense. Yeah, that really does. That's great because, growing up in the 80s, that was a weird time. Um, so the Indiegogo, I did it with Evan. People probably got tired of me saying Indiegogo, but every few minutes I want to make sure you guys know Indiegogo live. Go check us out. A lot of great cast members we have lined up. Robert Lasardo,
yeah,
who is playing one of the goons, Spider.
yeah,
Let's see. I have the Indiegogo up
that's
now.
Rashad.
Rashad Evans, yes, he's playing Chains. Um,
I worked with Robert Lasardo a few times. So
yeah, I'm working with him for Hell's Gate.
oh, nice.
Yeah, he's got a role in that. So, and then of course yourself playing Damien Harth, Lorenzo Drosco. Is that
Not
it?
sure. Yeah, I'm not sure that is.
Or Roscoe? Or Roscoe? He's playing Deadeye.
Oh, Rizzo. Okay.
Okay, yeah. He's playing Deadeye. Audrey Geneve Holland is Lizzie Bathory. That name. I mean,
That's funny.
I can't imagine where that came from.
Yeah, Evan's a guy. He's definitely got a mind, the storyteller for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Dan McDougal is the veteran, which another funny side of it for some reason, they don't go. The goons, if they get hurt, they don't go to a doctor
Yeah,
because
for sure.
then the police would get involved in this and that. They
Hmm.
got to go to a veterinarian. If
Right.
you, so that should give you a little insight on what kind of comedy. Um, just yeah. John Potash is cowboy. Andy Ledbetter is playing 911 operator. Um, So, and then of course, we're gonna have Madison, hopefully, here soon. If anybody wants to inquire, if you think you have the look and what it takes to fill these big shoes of Madison, then Evan said to take and email him at Evan Allen, EvanAllCen, right?
I'm not sure about I can't
Or
remember it by heart.
or AN. I want to make sure
Oh yeah, I think it's AM.
EN. Okay. Evan Allen, director at gmail.com. Yep. Okay. You let me know. So Evan Allen, director at gmail.com. If you want to inquire about the Madison role, because I believe that's the last, I guess, big role for the main players in this, and the rest are going to be offered up as perks, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
I believe so. That's the once we get Madison locked down, then we got our main cast. So and we've like looked, trust me, we've looked at like dozens and dozens, probably 100 girls for Madison, and this either they didn't have the acting chops or they didn't have the right look, but they had the acting chops. But it's tough, just trying to find the right Madison. But once we get to Madison, I think we're getting close because the rest of them are perks, and hopefully we'll sell those, get those perks done out, this round.
Yeah, Madison is a very specific look. Interesting enough, Evan told me that his stepdaughter was kind of the inspiration behind Madison. So, of course, there's going to be a lot of attention to detail with this character, and she has to be perfect,
Yes.
really, really, for the role to really sell that role. And it is a lead role, so definitely some you are going to have some acting chops, but it's going to be fun. Whoever fills them shoes, I got a feeling we're going to have a blast. Me and Evan were yucking it up when we did the little live, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun on set. There's going to be a lot of, as I mentioned, a lot of stunts, a lot of action. And what is there not to love about turning a narcissistic real estate mogul and his goons into human marionettes? That in and of itself is something I don't think I've seen.
No.
You have, dolls that maybe get possessed, like a Chucky or a, puppet master, but actually taking somebody and turning them into that, it's a pretty original idea, I think.
Yeah, that's gonna be the fun part is turning people into that. So
Exactly. I mean, how would somebody doing special effects, how would they go about doing that?
we probably make out of foam, like wooden pieces that we can strap or harness somehow to the body, to
Mm.
make them look like wooden pieces. So we make the foam look like wood and give it the texture, like a hardness to it to make it feel like maybe it's wood. I
Yeah,
mean,
that
all we
makes
do,
sense.
and all we have to do is fool you guys, the viewers, so they won't know. But it's like anything. Like I just worked on the Minecraft with Warner Brothers. I did the press junket for that, and some of the stuff they were using for the Minecraft. Of course, Minecraft is
Hmm.
and CGI and a lot of this video game technology. So a lot of that stuff didn't exist, but they did make it for the press junket because they wanted people to be in it in reality. All these news people, news reporters, YouTubers to promote this movie, and you know to bring that to life. I mean, that's what we do. I mean, that's what I do.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, that's what people pay us to make that stuff happen, so we can give people the, oh wow, it does exist, or put them in that reality, so it becomes a reality.
Yeah.
It's our reality. We're making it. We're making this to make you believe it, the viewer. So if we can do that, which we do, then there's ways to do it. It just sometimes takes a while. Uh,
They don't call it movie magic
yeah,
for nothing.
exactly.
It is an illusion, just like a magician, except you're
Mhm.
using cameras, you're using physical props and things like that, and very simple stuff. I mean, things that you would think, oh man, how'd they do that? That must have costed a fortune. But
Yep.
actually, not so much. You could probably do it in your living room.
Yeah, it's like you see all the time on Facebook and Instagram where they'll like get like a fishing bowl and put the bowl like a certain way and then make it look like they're in outer space when they're really just in the room. Or a
Yeah.
train station, they'll put this box and have a TV right there with the cars, trees and stuff going by, and it looks like they're in a car in a train in a train. So
Mhm.
movie magic, exactly.
Yeah, I seen one along those lines. I seen a picture of a guy who actually put like he took a picture of like the clouds and everything, and he on the lid of he put it on the underneath the lid of the toilet seat, then put the lid up and took a picture like this, which so it made it look like it was an airplane window
Uh,
and that he was flying. Yeah, I mean illusions, and that's what we love about movies. They create illusions for entertainment to help us escape. And take a little break from the real world, dive into some movie magic.
and that's how we. I mean, if we had like $100 million budget, then we can do everything like practical. But some things we have to do movie magic because we don't have that budget. But
Yeah,
it still looks good and it's still believable, and you, you can't deny it. It looks like it just happened and it didn't really happen. You know.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, I always bring this up when talking about special effects and whatnot. Rob Zombie once said, when you're on a strict budget and it's a fixed budget and it's not maybe as much as it should be, he said that forces creativity because you sometimes have to make something out of nothing. You just can't start throwing money at it.
yep.
You lose the creativity there.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and that's, I think that's, I love practical effects. I think most people are on, that side of the fence as well. It looks better. Um,
I agree.
it's more believable.
Right.
If done right, it's more believable. Um, I had a question about the movie. No, I can't think of it. Anyway, so hopefully we can get the cameras rolling maybe in October, but for sure the before the end of the year, unless something catastrophic happens and has to be pushed. That's at least your guys' goal. By
Yeah.
the end of the year, cameras will be fired up and rolling.
Yep, we're pushing for that. That's what we want. So
Awesome, because I know a lot of people are ready for this. I love the script. My wife peeped the script, absolutely loves it. Um, it's a great story. It's got humor. It's got everything I think that you could want. It's got a little bit something for the blood and gore folks out there. It's gonna have something, for the action type people. And if you like a little comedy thrown in there, we got that too. And this is what I was gonna say. This is actually a story that could actually happen, as we've mentioned.
yeah,
And those are the kind of, regardless of how gory or, the devil's rejects.
yeah,
That, as crazy as that was, that could actually happen. There are cases of just crazy inbred families out in the middle of nowhere. And I think that a toy maker has that element to it. Maybe in a real world situation that wouldn't be, maybe it wouldn't be so violent. But this is a movie. You got to make it entertaining. But I'm sure something like this happens all the time. Somebody with a fat wallet, a narcissist, all about him, all about just making money, profits over people. That kind of stuff happens on a daily, I'm sure, especially in small towns. You got a lot of mom and pop, shops, and it happens all the time. So this is going to be a great film. Because it not only has all those things I mentioned, the action stunts, blood, a little bit of comedy. There's a great story behind it. And I think that's the most important part. The others are just, elements to enhance this story. But it's gonna be awesome. And for those who haven't seen the little trailer that Evan put together, kind of explaining the story a little bit, you're gonna see it here at the end when we're done. Again, if you're just joining us, I told you I'm gonna say it throughout the whole time, man.
nah, go for it.
It's like a telethon, the Jerry Lewis
That's
telethon.
funny.
Phone lines are open. Yeah, get on over there to the Indiegogo. Check out the perks. If nothing, do some window shopping. Maybe you know somebody, who would like to contribute to such a project. And of course, it may seem like, you guys are just talking it up because you're in it, you're a part of it. No, I can be honest, and I have with in the past, like I don't know about this, just giving my honest opinion. I have nothing to say about this story. It's gonna be a fun time filming. There's a lot of first involved with me, so it's going to be a really good lesson. I'll be able to learn a whole lot, doing some things that I haven't done in the past, and I'm excited. And I know the rest of the cast is probably excited. I don't, communicate back and forth with Robert Lusardo, but I do have a friend that does talk to him on, pretty regularly, and I know he's excited for this as well. So it's gonna be a great time. Any last words you want to throw out there? Indiegogo, Indiegogo, Indiegogo.
Yeah. So, I've been doing this for 30 years, probably a little over 30 years. And, we have a good reputation for what we do when it comes to like production, stunts, all that good stuff. And, Evan is such a good guy. I love working with him. So, tell your followers or people watching this video, I mean, even if you just got the DVD or a poster or a T-shirt, every little bit helps. We're grateful for it, and it's going to happen this year, no matter what. We'll make it happen because I got other resources I'll be talking to, but we like to give people the opportunity to be part of something that's going to be a classic. Eventually it's going to be something people talk about. It's going to be a great film. Be part of it. I mean, help support it.
And that's one of the big things that I think maybe sometimes people forget. You are by contributing and maybe, like you said, just getting a T-shirt, getting a DVD or something like that. You're a part of it in a way that you're helping to fund it, and we're going to give you a little something for it. Kind of break it down and then think about it like that. Yeah, you're a part of history. Basically, it's not A-list, big Hollywood, type stuff like you've worked on in the past, but you never know. I got a really good feeling about a toy maker. I really do. I think it's going to work out well. I think it's great casting going on. Again, if you would like to inquire, a lot of submissions and people wanting to play Madison Moon, my sidekick, Evan Allen at gmail.com, ALLENEVAN, just in case you don't want to miss it. So with that being said, Mark, thank you for hanging out, talking some toy maker. Hopefully in the future here soon we can get maybe another cast member on or something, and just keep plugging away at this Indiegogo. And again, if you want to go there, visit. If nothing else, copy and paste that link on your socials. Somebody is bound to see and be like, now what in the hell is this? And maybe they pick up a T-shirt, a DVD, whatever, digital scripts. I know, that's one in there. So do yourself a favor, because I can guarantee you're not going to be disappointed in this. And if you need some clarification on that, go watch Six Wheels from Hell. It's over there on Tubi. Mother Trucker would greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you.
Hey, man. Don't go nowhere. I want to say bye to you after we end. And I for some reason, always end with this. I don't know. Hope it brings a smile on everyone's face. I had Evan cracking up. If he's watching, he knows what's going on.
Do you feel blame? Are you mad? Do you feel like Wolf's Kebab right friends? Get friends, big remits, get Google, big, for the British worker.